Todd standing here. I am going to be doing my live show today, and I'd like lots of questions. I've been gone for a couple weeks, so let me get the chats here. Live chats, all messages are visible. All right, guys, if you got some stuff to say, some questions, just trying to get my. So yeah, I've been gone for a couple weeks. Why? Because, like I said a few times before, if I go out on expedition, I'm going on an expedition. So yeah, what is going on? Why aren't I seeing any? Nope, don't want that. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear everything. There we go. Just be. Whoa, did it turn around again? I'll do that. Hey, dude. So yeah, it's been a couple weeks. Where did I go? I went to Washington State. Oh, I sure did, and it was incredible. What's the largest Bigfoot can get? There are the questions coming in already. Dinobot 60 would, yeah, I don't know, huge probably 1,000 pounds, but yeah, that's crazy big. So just quickly, let's talk about yeah, April Fools. April Fools. I don't have anything to do April Fools. I think when you're in my position, you don't really want to be fooling around. You want to keep things legit and real. And see, I'm not doing April Fools. This is legit. This is me. This is a few days after April, so no April Fools here. Everything I do is real, no fooling. Thank you, Frankie. So just real quick, hey Amanda, how's it going? There's my girl. So real quick, so I went to Washington. Uh, it was hosted by an incredible couple. Uh, amazing people. The the area that I was in is just so like people there have all they all know Bigfoot's real. It was absolutely incredible to be in an area like that. You go into the store and everybody's talking about Bigfoot. People are recognizing me all over the place. It's right by the coast. The coast was wild. Like the beaches were wild. There was barely any people there ever. It was just so amazing. What an incredible experience it was. And of course, and fortunately, so we saw some good signs, saw a few tracks here and there. I saw a tree break that really impressed me. A couple of tree breaks that were just like out of Survivor Man Bigfoot and my documentary Discovering Bigfoot. Some incredible tracks. And then we spent, me and two expeditioners got brave, spent some nights out in the bush where people had had many encounters, and heard some real interesting sounds. It had some good potential, but I guess the most important thing was about 50 yards off, I saw two green eyes in pitch black, blinking and looking at me. And I've seen those green eyes before. They were at about 7.5 feet above the ground, I estimated. Incredible how it happened too. The way I don't know. I mean, I'm not. It's not my place. I don't live there. I'm not from Washington, and we're just out in the wilderness. And I popped my head up, and some green flash caught my eyes. I looked at them, I stared at them, and then they blinked. And what's crazy is 50 years away, dead silent. You're in the forest, right? And you're looking at these green eyes, and you see them blink. And as soon as I saw them blink, you don't see eyelids. You just see them stop being green glow and then start green glow again. There's two of them that are perfectly, just looking at me, and even behind trees and stuff. And of course, I go to the expeditioners. I'm like, guys, you gotta wake up. And imagine, so I'm just even trying to whisper, wake up, please, wake up. And I had the Sasquatch just sort of peered off into the wilderness. It was a while before hey, Danielle, it was a while before they got up and was able to look at the spot. But what was amazing was we confirmed that there was a track over there. And the track was about 15 inches, which is what I would say would be the size of a Sasquatch at about 17 or 7.5 feet tall. 17 feet tall, 17-inch track. No, so it was about a less than 15-inch track, and we all went there together. So it was quite significant. Yeah, glowing green eyes. I'm convinced there's obviously Sasquatch in that area. What a beautiful, even I'm going to say in the Olympic Peninsula. Larry and Analia were hosts to me. What an incredible experience that was. I stayed mostly on a boat, and they were the most amazing hosts. I just can't say enough good things about them. Um, and yeah, this is putting them at ease. No, but trackers have long hair, and you can actually. My teacher was a lot about that. Something about there was an experiment done with some Vietnam during the Vietnam War with the army where they took long natives that had long hair, cut their hair, and put him with another native of about the same tracking ability, and didn't cut his hair. And they found significantly that the people who had their hair cut significantly lost abilities. And my native teacher talked about that. And yeah, there's a picture online. There's a whole story about it. So it's my tracker hair. I keep my hair long, and the beard's probably going to go right away, just because. Yeah, I just gonna get rid of it. I want to do some changes, so yeah, I need to make some changes with stuff. I need to make lots of changes, and I'm really excited. So real quick, guys, this is important to know. Hey, there you are, Daniel. So thanks, Matthew, for the donation. If you want to get involved and help out, go to Patreon right now. My back. So Man vs. Bigfoot, one throw a rock. Thanks, Amanda. There's the Patreon link if you want to make a donation. All the donation from the Patreon, like 80-90% of it actually goes today. So yeah, what was I just talking about? I love Georgia, and I got to go to the United States. I love the United States so much. I was so well hosted there, and the people were so amazing. Um, oh, what a fantastic experience it was. I've never been so well hosted. I was eating halibut and salmon, and it was just so incredible. The people there were amazing. You know, people talk a lot about Southern hospitality, and Southern hospitality is great and all, but I tell you, some Northern hospitality. I was in the Northern United States, and man, I was so extremely well hosted. So, any updates on Jake? Okay, so Sergey asked me, how Todd, any updates on Jake? Well, you know what? Interesting you say that. I'm ready. Been going through a lot of turmoil, but I'm back. It's time for me to kick some ass. This year, I want to start the Discovering Bigfoot Research Center. I am going to start the Discovering Bigfoot Research Center. It's on, it's in, it's going to happen. I want a full-time, sustainable presence where Jake lives. I want to go see what's going on with Jake and see what's going on with the Sasquatch up there. So it's back to radium. That's where the expeditions are going to be from now on. I was taking people to Nordegg before, and I just did the expeditions to Washington State, which is freaking amazing. Washington State is unreal, spectacular. By the coast, the natives, I was on a reserve, were amazing. It's so, you go, I know most of you live in cities. If you don't think Sasquatch is real, man, they ostracize you. It's the opposite. They really, really to be on the reserves with natives like that. And everybody's got a story and everybody's got something to tell you. Australia's got their Yowie. I see a couple of Aussies here. Man, I love Aussies. Aussies and Kiwis. There was a Kiwi at the in Washington State that I met, a really nice gentleman. So yeah, fantastic, wonderful expedition with two expeditioners. I'm so happy that it was the expeditioners that pushed for that. I was really trying to, since all the garbage going on in my life, I was trying to cancel the expeditions and stuff. And it was awesome. And man, the people in Washington State blew my mind. What a beautiful place. Very similar to British Columbia, but being by the coast like that, I was going to go to Vancouver Island, but there's some big stuff happening in Washington State right now. And that stuff is coming. So yeah, missed your live stream over the last few weeks. Glad you're back. Well, I wasn't on the live stream, my friend Splash Bordeaux, the last couple weeks. I was out doing Sasquatch stuff and making some big things happen. Leave Bigfoot alone. Got a point. I tell you, John, I'm 49% in agreement with you. We might get bumped once in a while. I apologize. I'm not going to leave Bigfoot alone. Some of them want to be left alone. Most the ones that are going to interact with me are my teachers, and we're learning from each other. And there's a lot of people that are having really good success with the Sasquatch are coming around. It's a new generation. New things are happening. Some Sasquatch want to be left alone, and I leave them alone. I've seen them. I've interacted with them. It's very clear to me. Many Sasquatch want to be left alone, but some don't. And we need their help, and they need our help. They're a part of this world. The world needs to go through some major changes right now. I don't think most people are not going to argue with that, and Sasquatch need to be a part of that, and that's why I'm out there. So I understand your perspective. Leave them alone, but yeah. So, so Justin's talking about Sue Whitaker and Rev Whitaker. They mind speak with Sasquatch. Patience with the here. Someone's talking about if you didn't see my video from last mind speak, what a cool video, what a cool thing that happened. What awesome animal communicators making big differences, and it's important. What's going on right now with this ESP extrasensory perception stuff right now? It's totally legit, people. It's there's a documentary now about it. Third Eye Spy. There's this huge. These universities are doing all this amazing research on ESP. ESP is absolutely real. So, and I can talk to anybody, the biggest skeptic in the world, in 5 minutes and explain to him how he's extra perceptions and experiences. So it's very real, and I think that's one of the Sasquatch are so aiding us is because they have exceptional extrasensory perception. So patience with the cutting. It's really just YouTube's got this app is a little difficult, but I'm really grateful. Todd. Heard Washington is a great place to explore the big guys. Heard there's a documentary coming out December this year. Bigfoot in Northern Ireland? Bigfoot in Northern Ireland. You know what I have a problem with that was Sasquatch habitat. If the Vikings and the indigenous don't know about it, and Hiker X, if you're from Ireland, man, go into the Irish history, and if they don't talk about Sasquatch, if the indigenous don't know about it, then I'm extremely skeptical about the Sasquatch being there. Like the Hawaiians, as an example. There's no Sasquatch in Hawaii. The Hawaiians would know, and they have no history of it. So at least um, Western New York Bigfoot. I have a supporter that had some incredible stuff going on. A lot of people that have. I'll tell you about this supporter of mine, this colleague of mine in our cooperation. He calls me, he talks about how rocks were tossed at him, the Sasquatch scared him, and all these things were going on. And in a short conversation, I'm convincing him they were trying to communicate with you. They're big, scary primates, and they threw a rock towards you to get your attention. They didn't hit you, and they were showing themselves. But how can that not be scary? They're big, giant primates, powerful beings. You know, at the very least, they're going to significantly assert themselves, and that's scary. They're giants. So after talking with me, he's like, man, I got to go back there. I'm like, yeah, you do, dude, because you're special. You had some incredible interactions. They were trying to communicate with you. They didn't want to scare you off, and they're disappointed you left for a few months. Get your butt back there. Now he's back there having all these incredible things going on, and it is somewhere in the state of New York, right? So, and this guy, yeah, has some amazing stuff. So, yes, Olin, I find that I'm very skeptical about that. So, again, the Highlanders talk about Sasquatch because they would know. You're talking about people that were connected, right? So, would like to do an expedition, would like to chat. My company, millworkoutlook.com, Alberta. So, Shane, hey, you want to do an expedition? There's going to be lots of expeditions this year now. It's going to be radium, most likely, the vast majority of where I'll go. Why don't you send me an email and everybody can do this. Send me an email at northbigfoot@gmail.com. If you have sightings and stuff, there's also bigfootencounters@gmail.com. But Shane, if you want to do expedition stuff, I'm not going to be able to. So yeah, so I'm really excited. Yeah, email address. Or bigfootencounter@gmail.com. I'm sure Amanda's checking that with Andy. There you go. Amanda put up northbigfoot@gmail.com. Hey, Amanda, you're awesome. It's so freaking. Amanda's in like England. Bigfoot. A chain reaction asked me, what's the plural? I think it's all Bigfoot. The Bigfoot. I never say big feet. Or I say Sasquatch, which is a really respectful term. Yeah, the group of Sasquatch. Yeah, so can you please answer my question? You miss me every time live stream. What's your question, Alea? I'll try to go back and see if I can find Alea's question. Why do you think the Yowies in Australia are so angry? We never have any cases of nice ones. It sucks. I heard the Yowie are angry too. It's something to do, it's really the biology. Just as an example, Alea, like black bears here in North America are very, they're dangerous. Obviously, they kill people, but they're less dangerous and less angry than the smaller black bears of China that live in warmer climates. So it seems biologically, the terrain it's very competitive in Australia when you get that warm land and it's not such a harsh environment like we have. There's a lot more competition for resources, and competition creates hostility, right? So the biology goes. So where we are, I mean, even smaller, hotter means a greater abundance of species and greater competition, which makes you angrier, I think. I mean, that's where the biology works, the biology that I've studied. So, like, look at people, oh, look how pretty the birds are. Birds hate each other. Birds are angry little buggers. Squirrels, look how cute the squirrels are. Squirrels are angrier, and that's just the way I see it. I'd love to go. I've got some connections in Australia with a tribe of Aboriginals that have been looking to me for go there for years. I can't wait to go there. I would love to go to Australia. Thanks. Yeah, I love the evidence that my people and I love all the evidence out there. It's just like there's so many people that have done good things. Thanks, Shane. Do send me that email, please. Damn it, Todd. Heard you starting to give me an email address. Then my phone started glitching. LOL. Yeah, so it's North Bigfoot. If you just go through the stream, my colleague Amanda has put northbigfoot@gmail.com's YouTube censoring. I'm almost certain YouTube is censoring. Sure, I just say nice things about YouTube. I am grateful for YouTube. If there's little glitches and stuff, that's cool. I'm an Aboriginal, and all the elders' stories are so scary that it makes sense. Thanks, Todd. Yeah, yeah. Some of those elders' stories are pretty scary, but I find different groups of native peoples, they're fearful. And if they're not, they're not. But it's one or the other. You fear them, you stay away from them. Like a group I studied, a Sasquatch in Morley, they were like, if you see a Sasquatch, three people that are important in your life are going to die. So they tried not to even look at Sasquatch, and even though they called them big brothers. So they really feared them. And then I go to another place, Winchester-Tunga, where it's good luck to see a Sasquatch and enjoy the moment and feel the greatness of it. So, yeah, how do I feel about the Appalachian Sasquatches? I don't really know much about them, unfortunately. Parkway Hippie. Hello, Todd. Let's go squatching. Save a life. Get me out of the wilderness. You can do it. Got plenty of money. That's ASAP. City folks driving me nuts. That's Eddie. I'll tell you, the expeditions, what's been so great about them is I have like, man, the people that I'm meeting, all the crap that I'm going through right now, that's the way it's turning out. These colleagues that I'm meeting and going out with, we share these experiences, and they're intelligent human beings, and they become my friends because they're such good people. They're so cool, the people that I get to take out. When I choose them, I pick them. I don't just go out with anybody. And now I have Army Rangers, Special Forces firefighters, and even computer programs through a lot of things that I take for granted. Like, I'm going out, and we have this big expedition all planned, and I'm out with these three expeditioners, one from Boston, one from Alabama, and one from Canada. And I'm teaching them how to track, and strawberries are in bloom at the time when they come out, just little itty bitty strawberries. And I'm like, okay, let's go. We got to get going here. And they all stop and they go, but there's strawberries everywhere. They're so tasty. Can we just sit and pick them? And how dare I take that for granted? Real wild Canadian strawberries, just little tiny things, but man, they're so packed with flavor. So we sat there and ate them for like an hour and it got me stop, rush, rush, rush. Like Eddie, you're talking about, let's get out to the wilderness. We didn't care about what time it was. There's no schedules, just love the nature. And that was probably the best thing that we could have done. So Eddie, if you want to come out, you got to send me an email, northbigfoot@gmail.com. I'll get my website up and going again. But that's the expeditions it's because of the expeditioners. I'm just enjoying them and doing them. And I think I'm going to make it a lifestyle. So, and the Discovering Bigfoot Research Center is so exciting to me. I want to get back out there. I want to go monitor those Sasquatch, watch new tree breaks, and yeah, who else did you take out to the wilderness that's famous? Oh, you know what? It's Maria Williams. Such a good question. I get all these famous people, Taylor Kitsch and just lots of famous people. I can't think of them all right now that have wanted to go out with me. Usually they can't though, because this is what happens, Maria. They're famous people like Taylor Kitsch. He does movies. He's a really famous guy. He's from British Columbia though. Just as an example, there are many people, many movie stars, big name people. So what'll happen is their agent will call me and go, okay, we need to know, how they're being taken care of and protected and how safe they're going to be. And when they find out that the key is they're days away from advanced life support, they have to be immediately accessible to advanced life support. Because these big names and these big stars have responsibilities. They have movies they're going to do and contracts they're involved in. If they don't go do the movie doesn't happen. So it's a big deal. So when they realize the danger of what I do, that they're days away from advanced life support, that there really are crazy wild animals that can kill us. And every day we get stalked by black bears and mountain lions and grizzly bears. Every day some big predator will pick up our scent, and that predator will decide whether they're going to hunt and kill us or not. And when people realize the dangers of it, in the end, who did I take out that's famous, really? Survivor Man. And his insurance, the insurance would never agree to it, but Survivor Man is a badass. He's legit. He's tough as nails. He's got it all handled, and he goes out there and kicks some ass. And he's the one. He is the one. Well, Jeff Meldrum came out there with me, and John Bitternagel did too. Very brave. They didn't even ask me about insurance and stuff. They were interested in discovery. So Velocity 800 would like for you to say a quick help to them, Todd. You have wonderful fans. Well, hey, Velocity 800, help to them. What's going on, yo? What's going on for Velocity 800? So, North Bigfoot, let me go down here. There's pictures out there. There is no better pictures. I put my best stuff. If you've seen my documentary, that's the best of everything I have. You've never heard my opinion on Ron Moorhead's audio from the 70s. Similar, audio can be faked, but actually I think it's probably real because of the power of the sound. I think Ron Moorhead's stuff is real. New stuff, right? Besides Les, who else have I taken out? Well, John Bitternagel, Les Stroud. You know what? There's lots of people. There's lots of biologists and PhDs I've taken out that I've had great success with, but don't want their working with me to be public. So. And Jeff Meldrum is hella famous. What an awesome guy. But yeah, there's lots of biologists, PhDs, people that I've taken out that just don't want to be in the public. And there was a wealthy guy I took out. Listen to this. This is so cool. I haven't talked about this. I'll tell you guys. So there was this rich lawyer who has a firm put up a $2 million reward. You might have heard about this a few years ago. I had a $2 million reward for absolute proof. I took this guy out, and he wanted to see a Sasquatch. So I had a thing that I did where before I'd go into a spot, and when the Sasquatch would see me, then I would hide, and they would come find me because I always had to know where I was. It's just a little cat and mouse game I was able to play with them before, and came over and looked in the spot we were hiding, and I was like, he was looking in that direction. As soon as he saw that figure come up, the head come up, he tucked his head down and he started to cry. He said, "I just want to go home. I just want to go home." This is a grown man, and he knew that was a Sasquatch. We were trapped also. That Sasquatch had us trapped where we were. I didn't know. I think that was the Video 8 Sasquatch because it wasn't a big Sasquatch, and he looks pretty mean. That just that Video 8 Sasquatch in my documentary. I think it was him that popped his head up and had a look, and he's scary looking, and he was looking hostile. Not gonna hurt us, but just looked hostile. And I'll tell you, that man was so devoted. He so wanted to see a Sasquatch, and when it popped its head up, he closed his eyes and tucked up and said, "Just take me home. Just take me home." We had nowhere to go except through the Sasquatch, so I had to wait for the Sasquatch to leave. And what I did was I came out. And I sat there and let them see me, and then we went home, and he put that $2 million in trust. And of course, you theorize and you talk. People talk, right? But when it comes to it, when the grizzly bear charges at you, what are you really going to do? When you feel the ground shake and the thunder of that monster coming at you with claws and teeth, most people break. So, and that's how you really test your mettle. You get out there, you get into it, and you see it. I don't know about the glitching. Suck. Yeah, wild strawberries. Take your time, smell this. Take your time and eat the strawberries, right? Man, we're glitching a lot. Oh, here we go. Safina Rowe. What's going on with you, girl? If a male leaves pebble gifts for a 16-year-old female avid hiker, what does that mean? Very intelligent individuals. Each individual is going to have his own thing. Where you are, I'll promise you, Safina, I promise you. If you look at where those rocks came from, if you think about how many there are, everything, these Sasquatch are so incredibly intelligent and brilliant, it'll mean something. You're going to have to figure that out. I assume perhaps you're the 16-year-old hiker, I don't know, but it's a big deal. It's a very big deal. If you're sure, if you really think it's a Sasquatch, he's leaving you pebbles as gifts, pick them up, take them home, have a look at them. Trust your instincts, because this is a discovery. I don't care who you are. If you're doing this, I learn new things every time I go out. The Sasquatch teach me new stuff. And Sasquatch in different areas are going to do different things. They're different individuals. So you're really going to have to use your heart, your soul, your mind, think about it, figure it out. Thank you for that. Anna asked me if you could describe Sasquatch in one word, how would you do it? Miracle. They are a miracle. An absolute miracle, 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 miracle. The fact that they exist is a miracle. That's why most people don't believe. And it's a miracle. So so James is asking about the the tree pulling video. I think Thinker Thunker just stole the video and did analysis, and that's cool. Man, that's scary, huh? I'll tell you, the tree puller video. Holy crap! Yeah, I think a Sasquatch might actually be that powerful. I've seen a Sasquatch take a tree and rip it, almost came right up in front of me and grabbed the tree and just shook it. And I tell you, that tree was ripping out of the ground. He wasn't even moving. And a tree, like I'm talking a tree like a 6 inch uh, spine or spruce sapling. Like I can't move that tree. I can't bend that tree. He was gonna rip that thing right out of the ground. He was shaking it like nothing. They're incredibly, incredibly powerful. You're talking twice as strong as twice the size of a gorilla, and at least twice as strong, if not more. Um, have proven women adapted by them. He was talking telepathically, said from different planet. Oh boy, different planets and stuff. Yeah, I try to just do Sasquatch, not aliens, different planet. Love wild strawberries. Yeah, shockingly tasteless. In Canada, our little strawberries are jam packed with flavor. It's amazing. They just punch you in the face. Really little but profound flavor. Hi Todd, do you think Sasquatch have thick skin? How do they get frostbite in the winter? Like surviving -40, -50? Yeah, it's cold. It's really cold. Good question. Hey, you know what, Blaze? I'll tell you. So there was some special analysis done of video for a female, call her Jane, and some thermals were done. Some special digital pixel thermalization were done. And when they did it, it's Duke University did it. It's on my Sasquatch video. It's very, very cool stuff. I've talked about it before, but long story short, they told me that that skin that was on that being had heavy fatty deposits and was not human. It was a thicker skin. So yeah, they're gonna fatty deposits, thicker skin somehow. I don't know a lot about primate skin. I haven't studied it very much, but yeah, just they just survive really well. I've noticed Sasquatch follow rivers and streams. I haven't noticed that so much. In fact, I wouldn't. Ruben said that, and I wouldn't agree. Just because river upper smell is going to be hidden, it's a very disadvantaged point. So it's something smart to do. Following rivers, you're just the sound's going to cover you up. You can't hear what's going on around you, and that's so important. And then your scent and everything's all hidden. Following rivers to hide is what I did. I was a creek walker, and that's how I got footage of Sasquatch. You don't leave any tracks. You have less chance of smell, and your sound is covered. And I would sneak in walking in rivers than just calling me a creek walker. I've noticed Sasquatch follow rivers. Well, so Samson asked me, do I think Sasquatch is paranormal? Yeah, it's a paranormal discovery. Unfortunately, I don't want it to be paranormal, but I want it to be scientific. That's the whole goal, is to take this discovery out of the realm of the paranormal, if that makes sense. How did I get started in the Bigfoot? Man, you listen to everybody asked me that question. Let's do some harder ones. Have proven different planets. I don't know about that. I don't do different planets and stuff like that. I try to keep it as simple. There's so much that we don't know. Why? That we're close to figuring out. Why go into different planets and aliens and stuff like that. I don't know why Maria says, wow, too bad, would love to see you and Les again. Maybe Les and I will work again. I love Les Stroud. He bossed it up the hill overnight by himself. I think Bigfoot, Sasquatch are interdimensional. I do not. I think they're just three-dimensional, and I don't like that interdimensional talk much. So migrations, every Sasquatch is going to be different. They're going to move around, follow food sources. So migration is specific to each different area. The Sasquatch are going to migrate over to areas where salmon are spawning, right? They're going to move over to their spot where the berries are prolific at earlier times of year, and where they're thicker in different times, right? So you feed Sasquatch apples, but do they like bananas? I don't do bananas because bananas are not indigenous to where I live. And the banana peels, don't throw them outside. A deer will eat them, an elk will eat them, especially deer, I think, and it really messes up their stomach. Banana peels are like very weird. You throw them in a fire and they barely burn. They're really tough, and it's really bad for animals to eat them. So don't throw your banana peels in the wilderness, people. It really hurts the deer. Survivor Man, cold kick Bear Grylls' ass. Could kick, yeah. Well, Bear Grylls is not real. He's not a real survivalist. His show is fake. So have you had another Sasquatch harass you in frequent expeditions? Sam has a Sasquatch. Yeah, the California expedition. I got hurt. So, and the Sasquatch in California that I got a little bit of footage of that. I haven't released it yet. And yeah, I got hurt badly by a Sasquatch that was there. Hurting me. I never went back to have anything to do with that group again, because I think that Sasquatch would really harm me if I went back there. He warned me, and I'll tell you something. when the big male comes around and he warns you and you don't take it seriously, I take it seriously. So I know when they're bringing the pain, and a certain level of brutality I will not tolerate. And when the male Sasquatch, the big dominant male of the group, is being very hostile and angry and showing me that he's ready to crush me and harm me, peace out, y'all. I even tell it to expeditioners. If the big male comes around here, I just don't want the big male. I don't want anything to do with him. He's got to go protect his family, and he's the big boss, right? He's got the big ego and stuff. I just prefer not to deal with. I've never had any success with the big dominant males of a Sasquatch group. I stay away from them. It's the younger males usually, and now some of the females are coming around a little bit, but it's mostly the young males that are interacting with me, and he's allowing them to, but I just don't want to have him um, interacting with me. Well, if you leave them bananas, I don't agree with that. I don't think you should leave them bananas, but if you do, make sure you take the peels, okay? Because the peels hurt you. I think Bigfoot and Nephilim. I have no knowledge of this. Would you go to Slave Lake where Meldrum went to that cabin? Slave Lake. You must be talking about Snake. I think the cabin was not what you think it is. But there's a lot going on in Snell Grove. But that's a gentleman who wants to be private, and I respect his privacy. He's having incredible success there. He might be the best. He might be having some of the best success doing Sasquatch research I've ever heard of. The man who really is responsible for Snell Grove. So I don't know much about MK Davis. Jeff Meldrum was going to give him some of my footage and have them analyze it, and that's okay. But just footage is not where we can get. So papaya. Yeah, I wouldn't. You know what? Northern Minnesota Sasquatch. I try to stick with indigenous foods. You know, like strawberries would be okay. Strawberries grow wild, and I'm trying not to get too weird. Norm Black says, I noticed various hairs and hair patterns on your Bigfoot videos. All males typically darker. And do you think older ones lose their hair fur? Well, male pattern baldness has been noticed in chimpanzees. I don't really, I think. So it's not too dramatic in the colors. And yeah, it's hair. I'll tell you one thing, Norman, they have hair. It's definitively hair. All primates, gorillas, chimpanzees, orangutans, humans, and Sasquatch, all five of us all have hair, which is very interesting because fur is layered. And that's why I think Sasquatch, all of us primates, don't like to go out in the rain. Well, if we were naked, we wouldn't like to go out in the rain because our hair gets right to our skin, right? And you get wet to your skin. And I've noticed Sasquatch and gorillas and chimpanzees all thoroughly dislike the rain. Seen some stuff. I have one of my top colleagues that really helps me out is Amanda. She's from the UK, and she strongly disagrees with you. So if you can convince her, and she's on Facebook, she's chatting all over the place here, our Amanda. And yeah, Christina, if you can find her on Facebook or just send something to bigfootencounter@gmail.com, and Amanda should have a look at that. Challenge her. You know, she's strongly against it. If you can convince her, believe me, it'll come back to me. I trust her immensely. And I've sent some stuff to Amanda, and she's not convinced at all of Bigfoot in the UK. I think it was a monster quest. I don't know what they're asking about. There's my lady Danielle from Ontario. Is Sasquatch in Texas legit? Is the Sasquatch in Texas legit, Sam? Hell yeah. Texas Rangers, brother. Woo! Oh yeah, I've been down there. I've seen some stuff in Texas. And man, they got to be there. Okay, quick story. So I went down to Texas, had lots of cool stuff, met some amazing people. There is a Texas Ranger that wrote a book back in, I don't know, 1920s or something, about all these things about Sasquatch because he knew all about them. I read that book, pages and notes. And when the Texas Rangers took me down there and showed me this information from this Texas Ranger, they said, what do you think? And I go, I think this man knew Sasquatch. I think this man knows a tremendous amount about Sasquatch. I think there's Sasquatch here because he said so. And they're like, that's awesome. You can start doing some research out here? I'm like, hell no. That's your job. You guys go do it. You know, Texas is different. You got weird animals down there. And I'm not in Texas. This research is a husbandry. So dramatic. And, you know, it's not something I can do. Come down and do research. That's not gonna work. You have to be full-time, boots on the ground, kicking some ass. So yeah, they're in Texas. Whatever happened to contests offering $1 million, dead or alive? I don't know. I don't know. Just a weird show. What's the best place to go Sasquatch hunting? Where there are Sasquatch, where you can find them, where you can find Sasquatch that are interacting with you. So that would be my answer. When you can find a Sasquatch that's interested in teaching you lessons, is my opinion. Find a Sasquatch in an area that's going to like you and appreciate you around and teach you lessons, then you can have some success, Samson. But I mean, just look up areas all over the place. All the way down to Texas and up into Florida. There's skunk ape, right? And talk with people and cooperate and get mentored and teach and help. Send us an email, and I want to broaden. I want to expand. So I've just got my ass handed to me the last. I need to expand dramatically, and I want help. And there are people out there that want to help, and let's do this. Sasquatch, just real quick, I was going to disprove they exist. I was going to prove that Sasquatch couldn't exist in the biology, and I was wrong. So let's see here. Todd, do you think using human female urine as a scent bait could pique the interest of males? Well, slash Bordeaux, we did that this year. I had a brave expeditioner come out with his beautiful daughter's urine from when she was ovulating. He's put it all over the place. It didn't seem to do anything around base camp, but my man Stefan, he saw a Sasquatch. So actually saw two Sasquatch on an expedition with me this year. Stefan is this dude from Ontario. He's a martial arts instructor. He's a very special man. He's had some of the named, and I'm going to do some stuff on Stefan. He's just had incredible success. So absolutely, I think Sasquatch scent mark like other animals. Absolutely. Shaman of the Woods, that's a good name for a Sasquatch. To see a Sasquatch, you need to see it with your heart. I agree, Northern Idaho Sasquatch, strongly. Because when you interact with them, well, I don't know about touching your soul, but it's shook up my whole life, and it's incredible. So, because they're a miracle. So is it true that International Zoo Bank has actual Sasquatch DNA on it? Chain reaction? I'm told yes. Absolutely yes. I've seen that DNA. I have a medical doctor that I work with who is an MD, but he got his master's in genetics. He's looked at that Zoo Bank DNA. He came out on expedition with me with a book that thick. And the last 3 days, it was just him and I, and he was talking about the DNA and talking about the DNA, and he's got me very convinced. So the Iceman is coming. Add with, you should take out the Iceman. The Iceman wants to meet me. The Iceman wants to come out. The Iceman's been invited. The Iceman cometh. We're doing it. I'm up with that. So how do they use the stars to navigate? I don't know about. I think they need anything to navigate. They just move. So Sasquatch must be the ones twisting trees that are feet across the butt. Yeah. Sasquatch do tree breaks and do cool things with trees. HGers, how do you have any more info about that? Thanks. This Cephalosaurus here, that's my girl Amanda. You guys talk to her, passes off stuff. She's like my general manager, pretty much. So she's my right arm. She's awesome. She's fearless. She tells me where to go and when. If I do something wrong, she gives me heck. Notice I didn't swear. That's because of Amanda. Said, you want it to be PJ, you want young children listening to your show, then you stop swearing, and I agree. I have a young boy that's 10 years old and a little girl, and they are the number one most important thing in my life, and I want children to be able to watch this show. That's why I also ask you to swear any profanity in the comments, because I have younger children that are listening. Missing 411, I think Missing 411's got some amazing stuff, but I'm not interested in it because I'm not interested and worried about how Sasquatch have killed and harmed people. I work with them and interact with them, and I don't want to. Sure, some bad stuff has happened, but I'm not focused on that. I'm glad he's doing it, David Pilates. Good job. Just leave him alone. And so he is. So cool. Shoot one lone male, and you would not have to worry about the others getting you. You shoot. Hey, James, you got a brother? This is a family group. You don't shoot a family group. If I picked up my gun and pointed it at a Sasquatch, I would probably die because they know what guns are. So you don't harm a family from a family group. They'll kill you. It's their home. They know every nook and you will take your last breath. That's what the natives taught me. Raise a gun to a Sasquatch, fight a Sasquatch, you will take your last breath. That means the moment you go, gonna fight a Sasquatch, pull your gun up and go, and that'll be your last breath. I agree. They're that fast. They're badass. They're tough. They're intelligent. Don't take on a Sasquatch. Don't fight a Sasquatch. Don't go in and take on a family group. You will die. No one will ever die again. And good riddance to you. They didn't do anything to deserve that. They're a very peaceful species. And so don't go taking them on. They don't deserve it. All the Sasquatch I've worked with are amazing, incredible, peaceful beings. And, there's going to be bad ones, I'm sure. They're bad human beings. But anyways, let's just try not to start a war or anything stupid like that. So what are we at here? Almost at an hour. Cappy McCappy, thanks for, yeah, I'm glad to be back. You guys are so awesome. So yeah, East Texas was on Finding Bigfoot. I think East Texas was on an episode of Survivorman, or Survivorman went out to see a guy in Texas, and it was okay. I didn't have anything to do with that. So, do you think Sasquatch loses territory and they get skinny? It will affect the way their print looks? Yes. Happiest wife ever. I remember the happiest wife ever. Yeah, loss of habitat equals loss of life. They'll get skinny. They'll. I'm aware of the Sasquatch in Morley that I was studying. What I think happened was logging and industry cut this group of Sasquatch off from the rest of the wilderness, and I believe that the male died, and the female just had her two offspring, a male and three offspring, two two teenagers, a male and a female, and then a young one that was about 3 years old at the time I was doing my research in Morley. I think they just dwindled off and didn't survive much because they're not expanding. How can they be? They're losing habitat, they're losing territory, and stealing chickens, if that's real, that's not cool. They're losing habitat, they're losing food sources, and if they're doing stuff like that, that's not good, that's not natural. So it makes me very unhappy to hear stuff like that. Do you think Sasquatch lose territory? Yeah, I just did that one. Let's go down here a little more. Yeah, there's Robert. Do you think we'll ever have more direct contact with them to the point where Jane Goodall had with chimps and gorillas? Absolutely, that's my dream. Better contact with them and go do some incredible stuff. So yeah, that's my dream of all dreams, is to get better contact, to have books written about them, scientific papers, and to learn about them. Sasquatch here in MN smell a little like a musky dog and really earthy. Sure, yeah. So you think Sasquatch lose? What the heck's going on here? How come I'm doing that question again? Where am I? I'm just going to smoke down here. Oh my goodness. Have you ever seen a Sasquatch playing? What do they do all day besides hunt? So, add with, thank you for the donation, sir. Greatly appreciate it. Have you ever seen a Sasquatch playing? Yes. Well, no. Well, they play with me. They have fun with me. They play with me. So many ways. They're coming around. They're testing me. I feel like they're playing with me a lot. And the movie of the week, when I come around, they're going to hang out and have a good time. And I try to make my time with them fun, if that makes sense. So yeah, and I've seen stuff where I go see trees and twisted together, and it's from younger Sasquatch, and I can't not feel like that was fun. That it was fun to play and do that stuff, and seen them run up trees and sound like jovial. I've seen them go hey. I've heard them do that, and it sounds like fun to me after they've been tricking me and playing with me, and you know yeah, I think they play like crazy. I think they're so fun. I get excited when I come out there, and they get excited too. Sometimes they'll let it be known to me that they're there, and I feel the excitement. I feel it in the tone. You know, um, there was a thing they used to do. They did when Survivor Man came out was just that hi, like that sounded really primate, and they're just excited. They're there, and I'm excited to be there. And hell, when I leave, I get upset. You know that? When I've had good success, like after I filmed any one of those episodes of Survivor Man, after Jeff Meldrum came out, and after the expeditions this year where people saw Sasquatch, some people saw Sasquatch, I leave and I get teary-eyed. I think, man, after all we've been through together, the Sasquatch and I, it's been so fun out here, and they're showing themselves, they're interacting with us. You know how exciting that is? That's so exciting. I'm just stoked when that happens. So, I just, how could I not leave? And just, after all, a colleague of mine now, Rich, he's been out twice with me. As we were leaving, like we were packing up, and they're like calling to us and running around the bush, and we'd had a couple of sightings, and we had to go. The reason we had to go, I phoned back to base camp and told the people there, I said, we're staying a couple more days. We can't leave right now. Like, this is incredible. And they said, there's a snowstorm coming in, like 4 feet of snow. If you stay one more day, and obviously that wasn't going to happen. So we had to wrap everything up. But I'm telling you, as we were driving away, there was Sasquatch that would come run along, 5 layers of trees along the roadside and make sounds like, woo, 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 woo. They were like, don't leave, don't leave, don't leave. And the snow was literally falling, and we had to get the heck out of there. But I remember stopping in the truck going, dude, I can't believe we're leaving. He's like, we got to go. We had to go. And yeah, so they were excited. They were playing with us, and you know, wow, what do you say to that? They're fun and exciting, and I adore the species. I had an experience when I was 16 years old. I don't talk about it to many people. I get ridiculed for it, which sucks. You know what, Crystal? We should, I think I want to do like the Discovering Bigfoot Festival and stuff. And I don't know. I had a good time in Washington. I want to start doing some stuff where I get out and talk to people like you. Because if you came to the reserve where I was at just in Washington last and you met the people there, we should do that. Just because I'm sick of awesome people getting ridiculed for what they really saw and they really had happen. Because even in that whole reserve and all those people there, they don't know Sasquatch are real. You come and hang out with people, and I think it's cleansing for your soul to talk about it. I want to hear about it. Other people want to hear about it. It'd be nice even just to have people come up on stage and talk about their sightings. But anyways, so you talk about how you get ridiculed. I'll never forget it. But one thing I hate is being asked why you can't find their poo. Oh, like I do find their poo, and I have had poo many times. I'll call it scat. How about we call it that? So yeah, we find their scat, and I've seen their scat, and I've had samples of their scat. Um, you know, I could get more scat, so you find it. It's out there. It's just the problem is, what do you do with it, right? Uh, After a certain time, it's not viable for DNA anymore. And but we have all that stuff, Crystal. We have that. We have DNA, Crystal. I have DNA. I have photographs. Take people out, show them Sasquatch. Like, you know what you need to do, Crystal? You take my documentary and you say, my friend Todd Standing, I am your friend. I'm so excited that you had a Sasquatch experience when you were 16 years old. Good for you. You're special because you had a Sasquatch experience. Congratulations. And I'm back. So use my documentary. It makes my heart feel wondrous and fantastic to think that you can use my documentary, show it to people, and say, well, Jeff Meldrum, PhD, is it. He saw a Sasquatch with Todd Standing in 3 days. John Bennernagel, look what that man had to say about my footage and stuff. So use it. Use that ammunition. It's on Netflix. Yeah, share that stuff. Use my documentary. Um, use it. That makes my heart feel good because it was a lot of money that we lost, and I don't look at it that way though, because my documentary is out there. I got on Netflix, got on iTunes, it's out there, um, and use it, please. It would make my heart feel wondrous if you could use that documentary and show it to people. And hell, send me. I'll tell you what, send me your whole experience, and I'll give you a copy of my documentary, and you can put it on a stick and share it with people, and you show people, and nobody better mock you. My friend, and people that have had real Sasquatch experience, you don't deserve to get mocked. You're special. You had an incredible experience. Good for you. I support you 100%. You're saying here, where and when I'm so down. My first experience was terrifying to me. I slept in my parents' bedroom for 67 days and had to have my windows covered. Yeah, it's scary, huh? There's no shame in that. So yeah, share my videos. You tell people, Anyways, um, get a copy of my documentary. Just put it on a stick, and how much does it cost for a little USB stick? Or $5 now. Put it on a stick, give it to people, and I'll give you that download, and you go share it with people, and you go tell them, Darren, this stuff is really happening. This man takes people out and shows them Sasquatch. Don't take my word for it. Come out with me, and I will show you a Sasquatch. And that's another documentary with just so much money, so hard. I'd love to do another one. I intend to do another one. It's just if I could just do it as my job. And that's what the whole Discovering Bigfoot Research Center is too, is me being able to make documentaries and keep this stuff moving forward. If you can donate, guys, it matters, on Patreon. But if you can't afford to donate, don't. If you're comfortable, if $20 a month is nothing to you, then go ahead and do it. If $20 a month is hard for you, please don't donate. There's other things you can do. Share my videos, tell people, and there'll be lots of room for expanding. I'm sorry, I've just had my whole ass kicked so hard. I'm very ambitious and I want to expand dramatically, and I have great people out here helping me, like Amanda and Daniel, and so many more people I need to get helping me. I really want to. I'm okay with it hard. So what I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping to be a face that other people can work underneath, so they don't have to deal with that crap. In that I have a Utah Sasquatch guy and a Washington Sasquatch guy and an Idaho Sasquatch guy, and they're all using my documentary and my evidence and Jeff Meldrum and all, and what I did on Survivor Man, using all that stuff to talk about Sasquatch and propagate the truth of it, and talk about sightings and get evidence. That's what I really want to do is I want to have somebody all over the place, and we can do that. So my documentary is very powerful. What I did on Survivor Men is extremely powerful. I'm very, very proud that I was able to accomplish that stuff. Extremely proud. I always will be. And there'll be more, but I want to build up a lot. I want to do it with integrity. I want to be honest and I want to be good about things. Um, X's mean don't cross. I think an X means stop following my tracks here. It's a test, so don't cross the X's. The structures are a response to some traumatic event, in my opinion, and the tree breaks are don't go past here. Crystal, thank you very much for your support. Oh yeah, yeah. Thanks, Crystal. Don't you know what? Yeah, just stand up for the truth. Don't be afraid to talk the truth. People think people think I'm crazy a lot. I don't really care anymore. I'm just telling the truth, and if you don't like the truth, then I make no apologies for it. And I have some stories, right? I have some stuff that's happened. It's crazy. So just a few more questions. 175 likes, people. 50 likes. No worries. Uh, Curly cues on the hair. Yeah. You know, how far is the hike that I do? Bolt electric bikes. They're working really good. I've been maintaining them really well. They've been a husbandry, lots of breakdowns, but now they're working good. So now I'm going to be able to take all kinds of people, which means you don't have to be fit as hell to do those expeditions and do research with me. You can have a low level of fitness, and I'm going to have like low level fitness expeditions and high level fitness expeditions, right? Just because some dudes are like that. The Special Forces firefighter, William Malpass, is tough as freaking nails. Like he's a beast. He's a cardio monster. Ass, right? I'm going to put these guys up where Survivor Man was, up on the top of the mountain. I'm going to leave their asses there. These dudes are tough as nails. But there's also people that need to be driving around the ground, checking tree breaks, staying close to trails. There's lots of work to do on every level. So that's why I need to be able to have people of all fitness levels. You um, shouldn't have to be at a certain level of research, and I don't want it to be that way. So I envy you with all your experiences. You couldn't shut me up if I had an experience. Good for you, dude. Well, and you have had an experience. When you watch my stuff, you can talk about that. I'm a person where people were part of the same species. When I do something, be proud of it. You know, when the Iceman does some crazy stuff in the water, I'm proud to be a human being doing these things, and you're part of my species. Let's be proud of each other. I feel like we're so cooperative, don't you? So it's awesome to see people's faces when I see Jake blink. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So thanks for putting that up, Amanda. So just a couple more questions. How far down am I here? Oh my goodness, look at all these people. Todd, yes, I was an avid hiker once I moved away from the area. I feel I was just getting she feel the male. Well, first I'll tell you, Safina, a Sasquatch won't be afraid of bears. No, and if there's drastic changes like human changes, they'll leave and move away. If food sources have been damaged, then yes, I agree. But Sasquatch are not afraid of bears or mountain lions and stuff. So that's likely it would have been one male. You'd have been in an area where there was a troop of Sasquatch. So, you know, and Sasquatch they communicate with each other very well. I don't know, go back to the area, try to do what you could do, bring your rocks, put your rocks back. It would suck if your area was just no good anymore. So, yeah, that's heartbreaking, but try. I don't know, try. You never know. They're pretty smart. So, I want to tell you about the place. I've seen it. My mom owns property. She should sold her dog and tell us all. Send us an email. Yeah, it'd be cool to know if they were still out there in your spot. Love your channel, Todd. Incredible work. Thank you. Saw your video on Netflix. Awesome stuff. Can't wait to see more. Thanks, Norman. When the smell runs in the spring, do you believe there is? When the smelts run in the spring, do you believe this is a good food source for them to go after a long winter? I don't know, Blaze. I just don't think they have too much trouble surviving, but they're going to follow the food sources, right? They could just eat deer and elk and stuff, and it depends on where you are. Are you up in the north where Alaska? Are you down south where it's Texas? Everything makes a big difference, but yeah, they're going to follow food sources, and I just don't feel like they have tremendous trouble or any difficulty living in good abundance. They have such good abundance, is what my heart tells me for the most part. What do you think of the 3-year-old who claims he hung out with the bear for days? I think that's a very interesting story. BF40, if your research area gets shut down. Yes, Northern Idaho Sasquatch. I don't want to bash people, but some things. Video ever captured. Congrats, Todd. oh, the dark beast, and just screaming because I feel the fear of me having gone through that. When I look at that video, you know, it's crazy, Frank. I'll tell you this real quick. That dark beast in Discovering Bigfoot that gives you the chills, he latched on me. That happened to me. So, yeah, he was the first to beat me up of three. But yeah, that gives me chills. The light, it's way off. This is hundreds of yards off because that camera I use is 50 times optical zoom. It's a Canon SX50 that I used. So I see a little light spot under the log, and then I hear a boom, and I can't see what's there. I just see a spot. And when I zoom in, and there's a face of a Sasquatch looking at me like, ugh, he's blinking really hard because I know what I've done is ticked them off by playing a little game that I wasn't supposed to be doing. But I tell you, just you can't imagine the feeling in my heart and my soul, in my body, where you zoom into that dark spot and you can't see what's there, and then the camera zooms in and it lights it up. I can't explain it any other way. It's a dark spot you can't see with your eye, and when the camera gets there, the HS high sensitivity light sensor lights the area up, and you see a Sasquatch looking at you, mad and blinking that you can't see with your naked eye. You're almost thinking like, I'm thinking this isn't really happening, and you look and he's so pissed off at me. Yeah, so it gives me chills when I watch it. The whole everything that had transpired, even the battery dies on your camera because you've been out there for days and days. Battery dies, shove another battery in that's dead, hoping you can get just a couple more seconds of footage. You milk that, shut that one dies, put another battery in. You're just going and going and going, right? Just doing everything you can to get that footage. And you know, thank God that I was able to do that. And then when the cameras are dead, you drop those cameras down. And Todd Standing walked his ass up that mountain and got his butt kicked. But do I think Kentucky has Bigfoot? I think they used to. I don't know if they still do. So thank you very much. This has been such fun. You guys are so awesome. You guys are so awesome. Which Sasquatch was up there in the tree in the thermal image? Amanda asked me. I think it was Jacob. So I'm not absolutely sure, but I think it was a Sasquatch I called Jacob. I think that he was about 7'5", and I think it was Sasquatch named Jacob. Good question, Amanda. Thank you, Crystal, for your love and support. Yeah, northbigfoot@gmail.com. That's awesome. You guys are awesome. Oklahoma is your experience. Well, now we really need to know more. I don't hear much about Oklahoma. So, yeah, thank you guys so much. Awesome show today. I will be back next Wednesday for sure. There'll be a Saturday video coming that's going to be good. I'm excited to do it. And big things happening. That's the dream of the Discovering Bigfoot Research Center is falling into place, even with all the stalls and crap. You just can't stop the love and the passion and the dream of all these people pushing forward. Thank you so much for everybody's support. Keep sharing the videos, keep doing what you can as we, the people, but small groups of people can make big changes in the world. And the discovery of this species is such a big deal. It's going to change the world. It's going to shake the pillars. It's going to be the discovery of the millennia. So let's all work and fight for this discovery. Thank you so much for your all support. I'll see you on Wednesday. You can send me messages on Facebook. You got the northbigfoot@gmail.com. Again, thanks guys, and we'll talk to y'all real soon. Okay, have a good one.